Welcome to the Leaders Insights podcast. Today's episode, how Airbnb rebuilt metric consistency with a semantic layer. Airbnb just published a teardown of a system they call Minerva, and the headline confession is brutal. Their own analysts were producing conflicting numbers for the same business question. Two people ask how many bookings last quarter and get two different answers. How does a data-first company end up there?
The same way everyone does. Every team writes its own SQL query. That's just the code that pulls data out of a database. See, and every query bakes in a slightly different definition. One analyst counts a booking when the guest clicks reserve. Another counts it when payment clears. Another excludes cancellations. Another doesn't. Nobody's wrong. They're just all using a private dictionary.
So it's not bad data, it's a definitions problem.
Exactly. The pipes were fine. The vocabulary was chaos, and it compounds. Airbnb had thousands of these queries floating around, each one a fork in the road. By the time it reaches a board deck, you've got numbers that are off by percentage points, and nobody can reconstruct why.
And the fix is this thing called a semantic layer. Translate that before I let you keep going.
A semantic layer is a single, central place where you define what a metric actually means. One canonical definition of booking, active user, revenue. And then every dashboard, every report, every query pulls from that one definition, instead of reinventing it. Think of it as the company dictionary that everyone is forced to use. Minerva is Airbnb's version.
Forced is the interesting word. Because the reason those private queries exist is analysts didn't want to wait for central approval. Isn't a semantic layer just recentralizing a bottleneck people already escaped once?
That's the trap, and it's why most of these projects die. If your semantic layer means every new metric needs a ticket and a 2-week wait, analysts route around it inside a month. What made Minerva work is they let teams define metrics in a config file, a simple structured text file that gets reviewed, versioned, and then computed centrally. You own your definition, but once it's in, it's the definition. There's no shadow copy.
Version meaning what, in plain terms?
Meaning, if you change how booking is calculated in March, there's a record of it, and every downstream number moves together. The alternative, what most companies live with, is someone silently edits a query. Q1 no longer matches Q2, and you spend a board meeting arguing about whether growth is real or a definition change. Airbnb killed that entire category of argument.
Let me push. Airbnb has enormous engineering resources. A CDO, a chief data officer, at a mid-sized company hears we built Minerva and reasonably thinks, that's not my life.
Fair, and you shouldn't build Minerva. You don't need to. The blueprint is transferable. The code isn't. There are off-the-shelf semantic layers now. Omnar, DBT has one, Cube. Lookers had LookMill for years, which is just their language for defining metrics once. The expensive part was never the software. It's the governance decision, agreeing that there is one definition of a metric and someone owns it.
So where does a CDO actually start Monday morning? Because define all your metrics is a 5-year project.
Don't do all of them. Find the 20 metrics that show up in your executive reporting and your board deck. That's your real exposure. Lock those first. In practice, when a company runs this exercise, they discover they have 4 definitions of revenue, and nobody knew. Just surfacing that is worth the quarter.
And the trust problem underneath all this, the reason Airbnb bothered?
That's the whole game. Once executives catch data being wrong twice, they stop using it and start going with their gut. A semantic layer is really a trust recovery project wearing an engineering costume. The metrics are the excuse. The outcome is that people believe the dashboard again.
Give me the one thing to do this week.
Pick your single most quoted number, the one in every all hands, and ask 3 teams to pull it independently. If they disagree, you found your Minerva project, and you found it before your board does.
That's it. The CDO decision tools are live at mba-training.com.